OpenAI just released three major updates. One is ChatGPT apps, then we have Sora 2 API, and the next most important one is Agent Builder. Now, Agent Builder is a direct competitor to n8n. So in this video, I'll be comparing OpenAI's Agent Builder directly with n8n. We'll be creating an AI agent on n8n first, and then we'll be creating the same automation on OpenAI's Agent Builder. And as you already know, we have made over 50 videos just using n8n that solves real business problems. So make sure that you subscribe. Finally, we'll put them head to head to see which automation builder is actually user friendly, can actually handle the complexity, and can solve your business problems. Alright, so we are on our setup, and first thing first, this is the entire UI of OpenAI's Agent Builder. Now, of course, to reach out to this UI, there's not a direct link. What I'm going to do is you just need to search for OpenAI Agent Builder, and it should be the top ranking link. It basically is a Agent Builder guide, so you just have to click there. And in this guide, there's a link to Open Agent Builder. I'm just going to click on that, and of course, here's the entire Agent Builder dashboard. I can just click on Create Workflow. All right, so we are in our OpenAI Agent Builder workflow. So we will be doing three-level comparison for OpenAI's Agent Builder and n8n. And let's just note it down on whiteboard. So we will be comparing based on these three parameters. First is going to be first impressions. Then we have features and integrations, and then we have building a simple workflow. So let's start with first impression of OpenAI's Agent Builder. Now this is the dashboard of AI Agent Builder. As soon as I click on create, it will open up a new workflow and it will create these two nodes. Now the first impression is it's not empty. I have something, right? So this something is basically a chat agent with this OpenAI prompt system. So of course it says you are a helpful assistant. That's it. Now, if I want to test it out, I can just click on preview and I can say, hey there, I'm Prakarsh. When I click on enter, it's going to respond to me on chat. And remember, I have not done anything yet. I have just clicked on create workflow. Everything is already set up. Of course, it does not have a logic, it does not have a brain, but a simple LLM is already there. Now let's do the same thing on n8n. Now this is my n8n space. I'm just click on create workflow. When I do that, it's gonna open up an empty canvas. Now this empty canvas cannot do anything else. So to achieve same level of task, what I'll have to do is after clicking on creating workflow, I'll have to open up a chat module, chat trigger, and then I'll have to add an AI agent. Alongside this, I'll also have to add a OpenAI chat model here. So for example, I want to test out with GPT-5. I'm going to search for that and let me just search for GPT-5 here. And we have GPT-5 Nano. Let's do that. So already we're using GPT-5. Now to build the simple chatbot that this agent builder already has, I will still have to add this prompt. So I'm just going to close preview and go to my agent. This is the prompt that it already has. Go to AI agent, click on define below, and then add this prompt. Now these two workflows are same. So just by comparing them based on first impressions, OpenAI's agent builder is very much easier for anyone who is not into tech. Of course, this is for someone who loves development, who loves coding, who has a good idea of what actually coding is. They might love it or they have been loving n8n. But agent builder, it's more of a user friendly thing. So as soon as I click on create a new workflow, it will create me an agent that is ready for chatting without anything. So that's the first impression. I'm just going to note it down here so that we can just talk about it later on. And now for n8n, it's going to be, so, Agent Builder provides a more user-friendly interface, and whereas n8n is more developer-friendly. And Agent Builder is, of course, it provides a ready-to-use chatbot, whereas n8n provides an empty canvas, so you can do anything, but it's not, nothing is there out of the box, right? So this is first impression. Now let's move on to features and integrations. That's where things actually change up. And this is where you'll see the real difference of experience in any software. So in this, you can see there's a start node, there's an agent node, and you can just keep adding these nodes. End node, you can add file search, you can add guardrails, MCP. Now, only MCP is the one that I want to talk about more, but rest of the things, it's fine. It's already there in n8n and nothing unique, frankly. Of course, guardrail is something that is unique, but you can also set up guardrails using an AI agent prompt, so that's still there in n8n. There's if else node. All right, let me just add this if else node. There's a while loop, there's a user approval loop. This is a good one. Then there is transform, there's set state, and that is it. No other nodes. Of course, MCP, if we talk about MCP, you can add a lot of MCPs here. So they can be Gmail, Google Calendar, Drive, Outlook, Outlook Calendar, Box, Zapier, Shopify. So in total, there are what, 12 here and then 8. So 20 MCP servers, that's it. So in total, there are only 20 MCP servers in our agent builder. Let me just note it down here so that we can just talk about it. 20 MCP servers, and how many integrations and how many type of nodes? 3, 3, 6, 3, 9, and 11. So it's going to be 11 nodes, 11 unique nodes. That's it. This sums up the entire agent builder integration system. If you talk about n8n, on the other hand, we can simply go over to n8n and I can just click on this plus icon. Now, of course, there's a lot of classifications on AI side. These are the nodes. I'm just not going to count because there are so many nodes here. There's action and app, so I can just keep scrolling, and all these integrations are already added to an n8n. So it's very easy for me to connect all these unique and different apps. For example, Rocket Chat is out there. There's RSS read function. There's Trello board. All these things are already added to n8n. Of course, data transformation, no worries. n8n has thought of everything. There's a code node, there's a date and time node, edit fields, all these different nodes that are already there. Well, filter, if, loop, merge. These things are already in agent builder. You can already see, there's loop, there's if. This is a unique node, user approval. I think, and I think they should add it to n8n as well. But okay, this is a unique node and this is also a unique node. These two things, I think these are the unique nodes in OpenAI's agent builder. But if you compare by the volume that n8n provides, you'll be shocked because it just doesn't end. There are so many nodes and so many nodes just keeps popping in because of a very strong community that is not there yet with OpenAI's agent builder. But of course, OpenAI has a bigger brand, so they can really speed up things and they can really pop up very quickly. But I think the use case or the audience that they're trying to target is more of normal customers, D2C users as well as customers. Whereas n8n targets developers. It's easier for developers, it's more developer friendly, there's a lot of features. And usually for building automations, what businesses do is they hire an n8n automation engineer, right? All right, so we can already see all these integrations in n8n, and let's just note it down in a whiteboard. So there are 500 plus integrations on n8n, but there are only 20 MBCP connections and 11 unique nodes on Agent Builder. So what, 31 against 500? That's a very big difference. And I think clearly n8n wins here. But OpenAI's Agent Builder is also not far behind because the thing is, OpenAI has a huge brand. So the developer community is gonna grow very quickly, and it's gonna be very quick for them to catch up with n8n's number of integrations. Now, and the most interesting part is building out a simple work. First, we'll build it out on Agent Builder, and then we will do the same thing for n8n. All right, so we should just clear all this up. Let's go back, and I'm just gonna go to create workflow. And again, we have our simple work that OpenAI very happily provides. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to add a prompt. I want this to be a restaurant receptionist. Let's just do that. All right, so let's do one thing. Let's probably set this agent up as a restaurant receptionist that is supposed to give you a confirmation email. That's it, right? And so I've created a simple agent that will basically act as a restaurant receptionist, and it will ask for the email so that we can send out the email later on, right? Now let's just try to preview it just in order to see if it works. Now it already asked me for my email. Let's just say Prakash. Oh, perfect. Great. So I have received the email. I think that's fine. Now let's just close the preview and I want to see. I want to add an MCP node and I want to send out an email. Okay, so now to connect to Gmail MCP server, I'll have to create an access token and I will have to add it here. So let me grab that. I think it's going to be an entire process, but let's do that. So in this, I'm just going to provide, I think what we need is Gmail API. And inside this, we need Gmail Compose, send. I think that's good enough. All right, so I've already added this MCP server that has the API keys. Now in the agent, you can see that we need to do, what we need to do is we need to send this data to our MCP server. So what I want to do is, I think I can add this server here. I need to send email. All right, so I have this AI agent. Let's do one thing. In this, let's add tools. And I'm just gonna go to MCP server, click on Gmail, add it, my API, click on connect, say never, and just say add, and I think we're good to go. So what I'm able to do is I'm able to add that Gmail as a tool here. So let me just add this in the prompt that I'm gonna be using Gmail tool. Great. So what I've done is I've added a prompt saying, use this Gmail MCP tool to send a beautifully structured email saying thanks for chatting with Ella, a virtual chat assistant. Perfect. So simple two node agent. Now I think we should try it out. It called my agent and it should ask for my email now. Yeah, so we got hi there, Amela, and they just want my email. I'm just gonna say waiting on it. So I think this is what they are planning to send. I'm not sure have they sent this email or not. I mean, there's only one way to find out. Let's open Gmail. It doesn't look like that I got the email. Okay, so far so bad. It did not work. Why? I'm curious to know why. Anyway, I think this is we can try it out later on. But there's some sort of a learning curve that is required to run this AI agent apparently. Anyway, now this is me who has built a simple AI agent with added a tool Gmail. Now let's try to do the same thing in n8n. I'm just gonna delete everything so that we start from fresh. Yeah. All right. So now I'm on n8n. I'm just gonna click on plus icon. I'm just gonna say chat trigger. Perfect. Call the AI agent. Of course, use OpenAI. I want a tool for Gmail, so I'm just gonna add a Gmail tool. I have. All right, I can send using Neeraj. I'm just gonna send an email to myself and let model decide it. Let model decide this, and I'm just gonna put out the same prompt I put here, so that it's equal, right? Perfect. Now let's run this chat module. They just want my email every single time. And this time they should, but they did not.
All right, so this is a simple chat agent that I built on n8n that will simply send an email to me, right? I'm just gonna say, hi there, here's my email, that is prakash.ptech@gmail.com. And you can see it did fail, but it did call the tool. So I'm just gonna see what the error is. Unable to sign in without access token. All right, so let's add a new credential. Or wait, I think you can use some other credential. I can use this. Right, I'm just gonna say, and it works. So it seems like that they sent me an email using this tool, right? Yeah, let's check it out. So you can see that I got an email from this account and it says, hi there, thank you for reaching out. So very simple agent that n8n was able to perform, but it's quite difficult to perform this task in OpenAI Agent Builder, right? So let me just paste it in a whiteboard. And in case of n8n, this is how it looks like. All right, so on our comparison side, it looks like, a very simple agent that will perform the same task. This is how it looks like. And on the same side on n8n, this is what an agent that will send you an email will look like. The sole difference was this did not work, this worked. And the reason it did not work is basically to provide the right context and connecting the MCP server. That is actually a bit of a hassle, which of course we can figure it out in the next video, but it has a bit of a learning curve, right? That is not, whereas for n8n, that is not required. It's quite easy for you to send out an email using this AI agent. So if I give you my final verdict, what I understand from this entire OpenAI agent builder, I believe it's very much for uh, non-technical users who don't have much experience in programming or developer, who are not developers. But uh, it's not feasible yet. People cannot make real agents, real workflows on OpenAI's agent builder yet. So of course, it's going to be a work in progress. People are still going to work on it. But right now, it's not ready. Whereas if you talk about n8n, of course, you have already seen me build, 50 plus workflows on this YouTube channel. So it's already in the market. People know what n8n is. It's easier for you to integrate things. Of course, it's more developer friendly. So you have a lot of control while building these workflows. And you already saw we built a successful chatbot very easily on n8n. So very simple task for us to make it. Well, this is it for the entire OpenAI's Agent Builder versus n8n workflow. And let me know how it looks. If you have any doubts, if you have any questions regarding either of one, just drop it in the comments and I will answer them very shortly.